Happy Wednesday. Not just Wednesday, New Moon Wednesday. It's Pisces season. That's, of course, according to the living sky, not according to Western astrology or tropical astrology or seasonal astrology or mainstream astrology. It goes by a few different names. It is Wednesday, though. Oh. Sorry, my dog got excited looking out the window at something. I thought we were about to get some barking going on. We're okay. We're okay. Must be just some birds or something. How's your day going? Hi, Flory. How are you? How are you, my love? Hello. That's quite the name. Hi, Sober Ducky. I don't know if you showed up here, if you're just on, but hello. Okay, I got to do sharing because on TikTok, it's important to share out to people to let them know that you're live. So I'm going to do that right now. It won't take me that long, but while I'm doing it, it's going to be, you're watching me do this. TT. How are you doing? Oh my God, I saw a video today and it told me 2 years ago, I was in Costa Rica. That long ago. I can't believe it's been that long. It just doesn't even seem right to me. Hello. Oh. Yeah, I can't believe how fast the time is going. Mm-hmm. How are things? How are you doing? Okay, Elizabeth is next. Hello. Say hi. Where are you from? Let me know who's there. I'm just sharing on TikTok. I'm on multiple channels. I'm on 2 different YouTube channels, 2 different TikTok channels, and Facebook. So I'll be looking at different screens. Yeah. If you're somebody that sticks around, it's probably that you're somebody that has integrity. You're somebody who is a stabilizing force. You're somebody, yeah, there's many things, but hi, I'm glad that you finally kicked what was trying to kick your butt, but couldn't win. Uh-oh, I forgot where I was. Will I remember who I left off with? Maybe. I do feel like it was here. And even if I'm wrong, it doesn't even matter, right? I'm just trying to share it out to as many people. And you can help me too by liking the post. If you're sitting and watching it, please tap on the screen to give it likes. It's just the way that TikTok is, unfortunately. I prefer not to have to ask for that kind of thing and just teach you some truths and, that kind of stuff. How are you doing? How are the kiddos? How's everybody? Join the conversation. Isn't that what they say? This tea is hot. I'm pretty sure I shouldn't be drinking it yet, but absolutely. It would be good to catch up. It would be good to catch up for sure. Really? Okay. Maybe tomorrow. Today's Wednesday. I had to think for a second. Or anytime, really. Okay. We definitely have to catch up. But let me know if tomorrow works for you. Let me know what day works for you. And it doesn't have to be during the daytime either. It could be in the evening. Two hours. I'm behind. 2 hours. 2 hours back. That's it. I'm just gonna sit here and do my little dance. Do my little dance. Okay, I have to move my comments for Facebook and my looking at comments from those guys. I'll be looking in this direction, but that's okay. It's just the way that I have my system set up. I hope I'm not lagging too bad. It seems like I'm fine on Facebook, or sorry, on the TikToks, but it looks like I might be lagging a little bit on YouTube and Facebook. And if that's the case, that's quite interesting that it seems to be those ones that are being affected. Last week, I had no volume recorded. Aw, thanks, Flory. I'm very, very, very happy with where I'm at. Oh, I have something exciting to show you guys. I have many announcements. It's always the way it is for me. Number one, book number 6 in the Unlikely Heroine Chronicles is released, and that is Parisa and the mermaid who was afraid of the water. And that's not announcement number 1. So book 6 of that series. I'm relaunching on Sha'Ryah on the 20th, which is equinox. Go check out the website. Make sure you're joined up in the free Temple of Light group. It's a great group that has lots and lots of valuable stuff that's put in there. And it's all stuff around awakening and aligning with the truth and, regulating your nervous system. There's lots and lots of really, really awesome things in there. And, but that's not all. I painted my own deck of cards. I've done this before on Procreate, but this time I decided to be brave and paint a physical deck of cards using watercolors, which it was a bit out of my comfort zone, and but I did it anyway. And the best part about it is I actually finished it. So this is the Monad Flame deck. I painted every picture individually. They're all my unique pictures. So we'll put that one back. So they have very, very strong messages in them. Put that one back there. And so I'm going to start a Kickstarter for anyone who wants to support these cards and get a copy in your hands. But I will, once I have them all recorded into my system, like all the pictures recorded into the computer, then I will use them on the air. But I really don't want to, potentially damage anything before I have the pictures of them in the computer. So that was one of my favorites. Yeah. So, and what that did was created the inspiration that I then turned around and I started creating my second deck. And I'm also printing off the original deck that I did on Procreate. So I'll have a physical copy of it as well. So yeah, I'm quite excited about that. To be able to use my own deck of cards is quite exciting. And that means that at some point I'll be back to doing at least some readings here and there on the air, although it still won't be a focus of what I'm here for. All right, so let's get down to what we're going to talk about today. Oh, I'm so proud of myself for it, Flory. And there's nothing wrong with being proud of yourself. One, I'm just happy that I didn't give up. And a big part that I can say about anything creative and especially watercolor is just be okay with the ugly spots, because sometimes when you just walk away from it and come back, you'll appreciate it through a new lens and you'll realize it wasn't ugly at all and that you quite like it. So yeah, that would be my advice when it comes to anything to do with creativity, but especially with watercolors. Just be comfortable through the ugly moments. Okay, we have some powerful stuff this week. Right now we have a new moon and we also have equinox on Friday. So we're going to talk about all of this. Aw, thanks, sweetheart. Yeah, I'm so excited about all the things that I'm publishing. I'm writing a book for adults. It's going to be this big series, and I'm on chapter 4 of the first book. That's taking a lot longer, a lot longer than my kids' books, that's for sure. I have to really spend some time on each of the chapters because it's not like it's, some of the children's books that I've had, there's very, very few words in each chapter, so they're quite easy to a certain degree. But anyway, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm going to release it as a podcast. I'm going to read it every single week. I'm going to read a bit of the book. So anyway, exciting. So each year there are 2 moments in time where day and night stand equal. They stand in this beautiful balance between one another. And these celestial, I love you, Flory. Thank you so much. These celestial thresholds, they often coincide with periods of reflection in human life. People assess their direction, their relationships, and the structures that they're building. So if you've been questioning things around you, it could be because we're approaching that moment where we're seeking to find that balance. And so we're going to look at the things that aren't in balance in our life anymore and seek to establish that particular balance. And the equinox is not pushing us forward with force. The equinox invites us into how can we make this harmonious? How can we balance between these elements that are in our lives, these goals or these relationships? Before major movement can occur, alignment has to return. So today we have the new moon in Pisces, and this is all about resetting the inner field. Some new moons are moons that you really, really want to be manifesting on. Today, as we move through this new moon in Pisces, it marks the beginning of a new lunar cycle in a water sign that emphasizes sensitivity, intuition, and inner alignment. Pisces is a very dreamy, very psychic energy. Tea time or water if this is too hot. Maybe a little bit of water too. We've had some really warm weather this last little bit. I actually have a little bit of, like a little bit of red on my face from being out in the sun the last couple of days, which is delightful for me because I absolutely love, everybody knows, the sun and the warmth and the water. But anyway, the sun's been really nice the last couple of days. I mean, we're not quite in spring here, but we'll take the nice days when we can get them. And we'll enjoy all the sun that we can and all the warmth that we can, for sure. Okay, so we're moving into this energy of Pisces. And new moons are not about immediate action. They're about resetting the field. It's a moment of newness. So when we have Pisces, it's going to specifically ask us to dissolve what is rigid so something more aligned can take shape. And it's going to want it to be emotionally aligned, spiritually aligned. You're going to want to feel it aligned in your body, very Pisces energy. And this combination is creating this very specific kind of energy, which is the desire to slow down. It's not this big kick ahead like we anticipate. It's increased emotional awareness. It's heightened intuition, and it's sensitivity to environments and people. So we'll have to be aware of that as we're moving through this energy of new moon, and then boom, equinox. So what Pisces can also bring is confusion if we rush decisions. We're also in retrograde, Mercury retrograde, which is asking us to review our decisions and think things over. And, is this still aligned? Is this the right decision? Is this the right relationship? And we should be assessing that all the time. But sometimes the energies of all the planets and where they are within the celestial bodies, it's pushing that energy more into our face. We're seeing evidence of that play out within our reality. So sometimes we get that confusion if we rush decisions. We may get emotional overwhelm if we do not ground. And there's also a difficulty distinguishing between intuition and projection. It's always about, is it healthy energy? Even if I read your natal chart, I can do your natal chart for you and I will present it to you, and you may look at it and go, but this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't really align with me. And one of the add-ons that I have for it is where you can do a nervous system analysis. And I also give you practical tools to use from all my years of helping in healing and working with trauma and mental. I don't like to say it's illness. It's just more of a dis-ease. We're out of alignment in some way, or we have toxins that are pushing us out of alignment. There's something that's pushing us out of alignment. So I package that with it. But when you look at it, you may think that it doesn't align with you until you look at when it's dysregulated and how that shows up. And then it might be like, okay, now it makes sense why this is my natal chart. And also, if you very strongly identify with your Western chart, then when you see something that opposes that information, you can just immediately just say, nope, that disagree with that, and not even give it a chance to land and see if it's true. But when you sit with it for a while, that's when you realize how absolutely aligned it is. And yeah, I lost my train of thought there. I think we all felt that, didn't we, Sha'Ryah, when we started looking at our charts in True Sidereal, and we were like, wait a second, wait, what? And then when we sat with it for a little bit, then all of a sudden we were like, yeah, actually that makes sense. And it's because we're not just looking at our sun sign, we're looking at the combination of signs and how they come together to make up your entire natal chart, right? Like there's more than just the sun sign. Your rising, like, as your whole direction of your chart comes from the rising. Hi, Texie. How are you? And hi, Starbees. So yeah, there's all of that. So Pisces energy. So what it's going to ask us is, how do we work with this energy without getting lost in it? And the important thing will be to be grounding, right? To continually be grounding. How's Paco? Hi, Jocelyn. So the answer is structure, but structure with softness, because we do want that Pisces energy. It's not all bad. It's just that Pisces energy has to be paired with boundaries or structure. If we just allow Pisces energy to just roam free, that's when we end up with things like codependency, because we have those very, very watery boundaries. And, sometimes there can be some emotional codependency at the very least. So we want to be aware of that. We have this beautiful new moon energy, and what Pisces is opening the inner world, but it still needs us at the same time to make sure that we have clear boundaries, that we are consciously reflecting on things, and that we are taking grounded decision making. Again, I'm going to remind us we are in Mercury retrograde. So that is already asking us to slow down and to review the decisions that we've been making to make sure that they're still aligned with us. Review your relationships, review the things that you're working on. but it's mostly about the communications, your perceptions. It's about conversations that you've had, things like that. You want to be looking at, is that still aligned? Is that still true? Is there anything that we need to tie up in those conversations? Are there loose ends here or there? So a practical way with this new moon energy is not going to ask you to figure everything all out at once. The whole way that we move through life is in a spiral. It's a cycle. And you can see that as the planets move through the zodiac bodies. You can see that each of the planets representing a different part, whether it's personal or it's collective, like Pluto, right? Or the sun being personal, as those signs transition through each of those celestial bodies, it impacts society or the individual in a different way. That's all it is, because we're just energy. We're all energy, and we're meant to be balancing in harmony with each other. So when you start to pay attention to the energies that are around you and work with them, then life goes a heck of a lot smoother. So this new moon is asking you to clear the noise so that what is true can be more visible over time. And a practical way to work with this energy is to ask yourself, what feels aligned, even if I can't fully explain it yet? Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't. Maybe, you feel like you need to go and paint yourself your own deck of cards. And that's for some reason, it's just lit up in you. You don't know why. This is one of my favorite ones here. Oh, I'm going to read this one for you, Sha'Ryah. The very first on-air card. My ears tingling. This is the celestial tree. And this is from the oversoul part of the deck. Okay. My ear is really going off right now. Oh my goodness. Crazy. Your oversoul is not one being. It is a tree of light with many branches. This card reminds you to access not just who you are, but who else you are. Message: you are not alone with yourself. Action prompts: call out, oversoul tree, show me one branch of myself I've forgotten. Christic phrase: I am a constellation of selves. There you go. First ever card read on the air to Sha'Ryah. You're a constellation of selves. How do you like that? You're welcome. Yes. I love them. I'm so happy about them, and I can't wait to take all the pictures and get a Kickstarter ready for them. Apparently, like, some of them really want to be seen. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with how they turned out. There's usually a little bit of, gold or glitter of some sort in each of the cards. Oh, just catching on my hair. Right? They're just, this one here. Oh my God, I'm going to read you this one too. Okay. Because this one here is my favorite. It is. It is. All right. So this one's like, I'm just so proud of the crystal, the earth, all of it. So this is one of my favorites. Okay, truth anchor, and this is from one of the activation. This is from the activation section. You drop your truth into the grid like a crystalline anchor. This card makes your frequency undeniable in the field. Use when leading, speaking, transmitting, and teaching. Message: you are not a voice in the wind. You are the tuning fork. Command: I anchor truth into this now. So yeah, I love them. I just love them. Flame mirror, look at that. Shh, you almost get your reflection in it. Get back here, getting out of order. I like that one too. I like them all. I can't say I like them all. I really, 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 really do. Okay, let's get back to, again, do something that's aligned, even if you can't fully explain it yet. What feels unclear that does not need to be forced right now. So what in your life feels unclear that does not need to be forced right now. So you do not need to make any changes or any decisions. It's just something, it's just unclear. Like we don't have to always rush to make a decision right away, right? Allow yourself the space to gather maybe more information about whether it's aligned or not. And then where can you allow space instead of pushing for answers? And sometimes we do that. We get really, really pushy. And when we push for the answers, sometimes we get the answer that we don't want. And maybe even the answer we wouldn't have gotten if we had to just paused, taken a breath, and just waited. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm going to sneak off after. I'm going to show you the other deck. I'll go grab it. I'm halfway through that one because they're little square ones. So I can paint more a day, but it's so much different, but also the same because it's me. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So this is where the connection to the equinox becomes important though, because the new moon is opening that inner field and the equinox is going to stabilize it into balance. And we need that. So what begins now does not need to be complete. It needs to be clear enough to carry forward into the next cycle. You need to know exactly what you're carrying forward and that is aligned for you. So just get clear right now, get clear. Okay. That's the direction from the Pisces moon and the equinox coming in back to back. Okay. So I've got some teaching segments that I'm going to be doing, like a teaching segment or teaching streams and things like that. And today I wanted to do kind of two of them because we are dealing with the new moon and then we're coming up on the equinox. During the equinox, I'm doing a broadcast, a special broadcast that day where I'm relaunching on Sha'Ryah. And so that's going to be at 2:20 Mountain Time or 4:20 Eastern, 4:20 Eastern. I laughed when I said that to someone in the Eastern time zone. So 4:20 Eastern, 2:20 Mountain. I'm going to go live on the 20th. Stay tuned. It's going to be, it'll be 4:20. So we're going to be doing a special equinox broadcast. And then on the Saturday, the 21st, we're going to be doing a short, probably half an hour live. And the reason why is I want to make sure that I'm on a little bit, 15 minutes or so before the hour. So 10:45 or 1:45 Eastern. But at 10:45, I'm going to go live so that at 11 Mountain or 1 Eastern, we're going to do a global meditation. We're going to be part of it. And we're going to be repeating for 5 minutes 4 words. And those words are peace, love, unity, and respect. So those 4 words. So we're going to be repeating those at 1 o'clock for 5 minutes in meditation. So I'm going to be hosting that on my channel as a space for people to join. So that's on Saturday. All right. So we're going to talk about balance and the human system. In nature, balance does not mean stillness, right? When we're balancing, we don't stop and like pause in that space and just never move because it's like, it's there. We got it to balance, right? It means dynamic stability. And that's what we're trying to get to with our nervous system and within our life, that no matter what's going on in our life, we are able to maintain stability because we have this dynamic nervous system and we have these tools. So it's just our nervous system is moving dynamically in relation to all the things that are going on and we're staying stable throughout it. So the same thing, as I'm saying, as the dynamic stillness that exists within the nature, it also exists within our nervous system, within our human system. And when the nervous system is overwhelmed, our perception becomes distorted and our reactions become impulsive. And small changes feel much larger than they truly are. When our nervous system is regulated, on the other hand, our perception becomes clearer, our responses become thoughtful, and our discernment strengthens. This is why nervous system regulation is not separate from spiritual awareness. It is actually the foundation that allows awareness to function clearly. They work hand in hand. It's a system. All right, so we're going to talk about a little bit more about the nervous system and how that shapes perception, right? Because a lot of times people think that our perception is just purely mental. It's the thoughts that are in our head. But in reality, perception is strongly influenced by the state of the body. When the nervous system feels unsafe, the brain scans for threats, right? Like how exciting is Sha'Ryah? Sha'Ryah and Carol. And hi, Ashley. I hope you're still there. Say hi, please do. So this means people may interpret natural or neutral situations, let's say, as conflict or as criticism or as danger. The more elevated that your nervous system is, the more that you're scanning the environment for threats, or the more that you believe that there are threats out there in the environment. So when the nervous system feels stable, on the other hand, and it's grounded, our perception widens. And when we do that, we're able to observe events more accurately and able to respond with greater clarity. So being in command of your nervous system and understanding where it is, right? When you get really good at understanding your nervous system and when it's dysregulated, so that you can start to implement tools or practices that can assist you, right? And you bring yourself back into that balance, and you start to make really, really positive decisions. That's what embodied leadership is all about. That's what we came here to do, is to stand on our word, to be in integrity, all of that. So when people have their nervous system, at the base, is what I used to talk about it like it was an elevator. And when you got to the penthouse, you blew your top. And a lot of people are running around with their nervous system up here all the time. So it's just anything is going to make them explode. And, other people are in varying spaces with their nervous system. Remember the ladder? Remember the elevator, I mean? So we want to have our elevator as low as it can be on a day-to-day basis, because that gives us a larger window of tolerance for the things that are coming at us from society. And we also want to be checking in with ourselves to feel our bodies, so that we can know, hey, wait a second, I'm not where I was this morning. Something's happened, and that elevator is rising, and maybe it's halfway up it's halfway up there now. So that can make you go to your toolbox. And those practices that are going to support regulation include slow breathing, which you can do anywhere, pausing before responding during emotional conversations, right? When you know that you're dysregulated, be like, I need to get back to you on this. I'm not in the right headspace to respond to you in a mature way. And if they have a problem with that, that's their problem, right? Like, we're trying to step into that space of maturity, and we don't have to step back down because that person isn't meeting us on the same floor, right? We elevate them and hold them accountable at that step. So the other thing is taking a step back from overstimulating environments. And I used to talk about some of my practices at work when I worked as an occupational health nurse for a pharmaceutical company. And one of the things that I used to do is wear over-the-ear headset Because when people saw you wearing that, they would either think you were on a webinar or a phone call. They didn't know. So they would oftentimes be like, oh, I'm sorry. Shh. And they would just be quieter around you by nature. And it just was used to muffle out all of the sounds that were around me because there was so much stimulus in the environment. I was a nurse, so I had all the equipment and stuff like that we had in that space. The phone calls, the overhead pagers, the people constantly like walking by, stepping in, sounds from this computer, that computer. It was just a lot. So I used to wear over the ear headset to block out some of that noise. And that was one of the suggestions I used to give to people as a way to reduce the stimulation that you're picking up in environments. But sometimes stepping away is the choice that you have to. So you just take a 5-minute break, you go to the bathroom, or you take a 5-minute break and you go outside. You change the space that you're sitting in. You get yourself into a better space. And they seem like really, really simple practices, and they are, but they're super powerful tools for strengthening your discernment. My throat almost cracked there. I got really drunk. I really needed a drink at the end there. Hello. Thank you for the like. Delicious. Lemon bomb. All right. We're going to talk about the equinox a little bit more and then preparing for it. So the equinox, as I was saying, is a reset point in the annual cycle. And rather than rushing into new action immediately, we need to ask ourselves what direction feels aligned for us, what structures need adjustment before moving forward, and where has energy been scattered or misdirected. Balance is restored by clarifying direction and releasing what no longer supports your growth. What tea are you going to make? It was such a nice warm day here today. Yeah, we don't want to co-host right now. So on March 20th, we enter the equinox. We reach the equinox itself, and it's one of the most significant balance points of the year. During that broadcast that I'm going to be doing at 2:20 Mountain, 4:20 Eastern, we're going to explore the deeper meaning of the equinox and the next cycle that is initiating. And if this conversation resonated with you, these discussions continue inside the Temple of Light community. And it's a free space where we explore the teachings more deeply, we share reflections, and we walk the pathway together. You can join anytime. The link is everywhere on my website. It's all over the place. And I'll drop a link in the YouTube or whatever ones I can. And if you feel called to work with me directly, you can also explore the astrology readings available on the website or anything else that are there. Why are you staring at your foot, Chapel? Why are you staring at your foot? Nice. I might be able to tell you. Somebody else might know too. They might share the birthday or birth month. Sorry. Birthstones are based on the month that you're born. So yeah. Oh yes, I was going to get the other deck of cards. Hang on a second. sometimes I do cards, but that's not, I stepped away from that for quite some time. Um, so I started out, mothers look like cards to me. Anyway, I started out as a registered nurse. I did that for 20 years. And I left after I went through a multiple sclerosis scare, and then healing my trauma that unfortunately came out at that time as well, because I had a significant amount of childhood trauma. And that was undealt with. And so after I healed that, I decided to leave my nursing, and I started my own company called Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Self. And I started helping people heal trauma. And I did that for quite a few years. And I have since stepped into, I still help with trauma. I have Bridge to Light Phase 1, which is a program that helps you with your trauma. And everything that I do really comes back to the nervous system. And at the end of the day, whether the nervous system is impacted because of trauma, or the nervous system is impacted because of toxins, or it's impacted, it doesn't matter how it's impacted, the dysregulated versus regulated nervous system is what I teach. I teach walking a path of integrity. I seek out the truth. I talk about things like dimensions. I talk about the spine as an antenna. I talk about gnosis topics. I talk about herbology. I talk about a lot of different things because I have a lot of different knowledge and experience. But at the end of the day, I like to remind you who and what you are and how you're meant to live at the end of the day. But I also like to make oracle decks with some of the teaching things that I've done. So I have a series that I'm teaching at some point on the monad. And so I created a deck of cards on the monad. And then I'm doing a course on the way. And in doing that, I created another deck of cards. And so that's what I was showing today, was the second deck of cards. I was going to show a couple pictures from them. Mm-hmm. I haven't put any writing on the back of these cards yet. But I'm halfway done them because they're just little squares, and so I can put 4 on a block at the same time. So yeah, and they're fun size to shuffle. Like I really, really like this size. So yeah. Right? Aren't they cute? So yeah, these are the way. I had to put a couple of touches on some of the, oh, look at this one here. The guide. He's just a little dude. Right? It's just so cute. The trial. Apparently it's intense, the trial is. But don't worry. I have faith in you. The threshold, which is a portal. Go through the portal. Yeah, I love them. I'm very, very happy with it. And mostly I'm proud of the fact that I didn't give up. I kept doing it and I finished it. Right. So, like every book that I published, I finished it. I followed through and I finished it. No matter what anyone could say, I don't give up. I follow through, which is, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Everybody should have a little follow through. So yeah, I can't wait to have them out. I'm looking forward to Parisa joining the other 5 books. So now there's 6 of the Unlikely Heroine Chronicles. You can get that on Amazon. I will have that up on my website as an ebook purchase by the end of the week, I guess, because it's supposed to be published on the 20th. So I'll have that up there then. What else? Do go check out the website. The readings have all been updated, so they're fully in alignment with True Sidereal and Christic Astrology, and I think that they make more sense now. There's also soul alignment sessions and mentorship opportunities as well. For those of you who feel very giving and want to help society, I also am the co-founder for Hugs for Homeless, which is a charity that, or a nonprofit, sorry, a nonprofit that we collect donations and put together backpacks that are filled with essential goods and then distribute them into community, which currently is Edmonton and surrounding areas, with plans to branch out through Alberta and, countrywide, international, stuff like that. It would be nice to have Hugs for Homeless campaigns across the world. But anyway, that's a charity. You can find out more at hugsforhomeless.com. And like I said, it's a nonprofit, but charity nonprofit. I use them interchangeably, but it is actually a nonprofit. We are looking for volunteers. Not all volunteers have to be in person. Some volunteer positions are remote. It could be like doing social media posts. It could be doing grant research, researching for grants and then doing proposals for that. There's all kinds of different things. If you are in the Edmonton area, we do have some community outreach partnerships that we're looking for. We have, like people to go out and put pamphlets and flyers out, to speak with people in the community about hosting a donation box for either monetary or item donations. We are currently running a campaign to sponsor 100 backpacks. We have got 1 backpack sponsored already. I know we're going to have lots more, and you could be one of them. For really big donations, we do have corporate call outs, or, we will put a tweet out, or not a tweet, actually. We would post about it on our Facebook page, or we would post about it in our community groups, or we would share it on our other social media channels. The other thing that we have is some really, really inexpensive ways that you can get involved. And one of those is the Compassion Crew. The Compassion Crew is $1 per month. And most people would not notice $1 missing per month for $12 a year. And in that 1 year, you know that you are essentially getting a hygiene kit for somebody. And with everybody else that's within the Compassion Crew, all of those are going to come together to build backpacks as well. And if you're into giving away more, like a typical subscription nowadays for like Netflix and stuff is more than $12. But we decided that rather than we'd do $1 a month and $12 a month. So the $12 a month would be $144 a year, which means that every year, that you would be purchasing a hug for somebody to give back. And you would also be purchasing numerous hygiene kits or partway to another full hug. So your donation is definitely needed. I know that no matter where we look in the world right now, that those numbers have gone up. So there's more need than ever. And it doesn't stop just because the weather gets warm. It can be quite cold year round in Alberta for sure, and in some other places worldwide. But you don't always have to just worry about the cold. You also have to worry about the heat. So, when the seasons change, we change the focus of what goes into the bag. And, in the summertime, we'll make sure that there's other stuff that's put in place that will change receiving things like the really warm gear that they get in the winter time. So that's all that. I don't know what else to update you with. Christic Astrology, the opening ceremony is on the 20th of March. Classes will begin in April. We're going to discuss that on the opening ceremony and determine what the first day is of class for everybody, what works best. And then we're going to learn all about how to read our chart the correct way and how to apply the current energies that are out there, so we can live in harmony with all the celestial bodies and planets, which is awesome. It's very warm in my house right now. I think I need to open up a window or two or go outside for a little bit and get into the cool air. Yeah, so go check out the website on Sha'Ryah.com. Check out the stuff that's free, which is the Temple of Light group. And there are some scrolls that are available in the library that were free. There's other ones that you have to be part of a group, and there are membership groups that definitely you can get more and more in depth, obviously, but go check out the free stuff at the very least, and come and check me out here on 2:20 Mountain Time or 4:20 Eastern Time. It's very warm in here. Holy moly. I did not get the curtain closed fast enough, and Cass opened it again on me down on the bottom. And so it just started warming up. I feel like it's like 28 degrees in here. I feel like I got to go check. I got to go check on the thermostat and see what it's registering. Oh, 28.5. I was not wrong. Oh my goodness. I'm going to open up this little doorway here and cool it down a little bit. Whew. I didn't get the curtains shut in time, so it got really warm. Yeah, Saturday at 11 or at 11:15 Mountain Time, 1:45 Eastern Time, we're going to be doing the global meditation, and we're meditating on the 4 words. The 4 words being peace, love, unity, and respect. So we're going to be meditating on them for 5 minutes, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Mountain Time. So you can join here, or if you don't want to join here, you can always just do it yourself. And again, it's just for 5 minutes, saying the same 4 words, and you're just meditating on them. Peace, love, unity, respect. Peace, love, unity, respect. And I'm just going to be guiding us through a meditation here, so we can just do it together, because, you know, when you get together, the energy and the power just, it's more, right? It's bigger. So we should come together more. Hey, Roxanne, how are you? But yeah, because it's so warm in here right now, ladies, I love you. But I'm going to hop off of here and go and find some space in my house that's cooler, which is probably the deck. Out on the deck and cool off, because Yep. That's what happens when you leave the window, if the curtains get left open, which is fine in the wintertime, but in the summertime, I can't have that happen. I have to have the curtains closed earlier than that. But I love you guys. Come and join me back here. Like I said, we have a special broadcast on Friday, March 20th, an equinox broadcast at 2:20 Mountain, 4:20 Eastern. We have a special broadcast on Saturday at 11:15 Mountain or 1 Eastern, 1:45 Eastern, for a global meditation on the hour, meditating on those 4 words. And then we're back at it Sunday at 6 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Eastern, where we do the celestial briefing, which is walking with the living sky. So if you go to a living sky app and you see where the planets are, it's going to tell you in the same signs that I'm telling you they're in, because it's where the sky is currently living. And that's the sky that I work with. All right. I love you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I'll see you back here. When I see you back here, I'm going to go and, like I said, cool down a little bit.